Yes. 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 Yes.
Good morning, guys. I'm currently trying to find a good setup for the camera so I can do this video, and I have no idea where to put it. The lighting is like bad everywhere today because it's kind of overcast outside.
Yes. Yes.
Hi guys, it's Yolanda here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a beginner's look again, except today I'm only going to focus on how I do my complexion. So brows and eyes will be off camera, the rest of the face will be on camera, but I will explain how I do everything. So let's just get started. Let's jump right into the video. So sorry once again, I don't have my usual setup, so there's going to be some stuff in the background. I'll try to crop out as much as I can, but not much I can do. It's super forecast today, so this was the only area where the lighting was like decent. So yeah. So first off, usually I do my brows first, but before I do my brows, I always prime. So first thing I'm going to do is I use a lip exfoliator on my on my lips. So I'm going to use the Pure Cosmetics lip exfoliator. I got this in a boxy charm. You can use a lip exfoliator or a lip scrub, whatever you want, a chapstick. This is just what I use. Then I go in with the Milk makeup. This is the cooling water. You don't have to get this, you don't have to use this. I got this for the small size for $15 at Sephora. I use this mainly around my eyes and anywhere else that's red. So usually just around my nose and my chin area. This is supposed to decrease puffiness, so that's why I use it around my eyes always. Next, I'm gonna prime my skin. So I usually use the Honey Do Me Up primer because it does get me super hydrated. So I put that all over. And then I rub that in. Cause I use this primer because it does a good job. I know people use this because it's a hydrating primer. I mean an illuminated primer. Not so illuminating, but it like makes you look dewy. I use this primer because it hydrates my skin really well. From the pregnancy, I have like super dry skin sometimes, and it gives you like a really good tacky base for your makeup. The last primer I'll use, it's totally up to you and what your preference is. I usually like to use a pore blurring primer on my T-zone where I have all my bigger pores that you can see here. So the one I normally use is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion primer. This is a travel size. See, I'm almost done. The travel size is like only $15, so that's why I get the travel size stuff. And then this is the Flawless and Poreless primer, Pixie by Petra. This is a drugstore primer. This one does the same thing. For today, I'm just gonna use the Optical Illusion one. So I put a little bit on my finger, rub them together. See, I put it on my pores and automatically they're like blurred out. And you don't need much. Never really had you guys this close to me before when doing my face. And then I always put some on my chin because I have some big pores right there. See? And then it just blurs it out. I need to find a more affordable one. Sorry guys. After that, I would go in and I do my brows. So I'm gonna do my brows and my eye makeup off camera, and then we'll be back to do the rest of the face. So I had to put a tiny bit more primer on my face because when the fallout from my eyeshadow liner came down, it got all over. The foundation I'm gonna be using today is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in Soft Beige. I know I said before that I don't really like this foundation, but this probably is the only foundation that I have that is my skin tone. I'm really light right now, so I'm gonna just use Wet n Wild. If it looks too white, I'll just I'm probably gonna add a little bit of Maybelline though. It's gonna add a tiny bit of the Maybelline. The Maybelline fit me just because my shade right now is like, I don't even know what shade I am. So I feel like these two mixed will do better. I'm gonna take off that exfoliator. So I just blend this in with a beauty blender. You can use a brush. I used to really like using brushes for my foundation, but because I'm more on the dry side lately, I prefer to use a beauty blender. I make sure to get in between my nose. Make sure it's super blended out. Make sure it's blended down your neck, just in case your shade color doesn't match, just like mine. Now I always try to be careful around my brows. Some people like to do their foundation before they do their brows and their eye makeup. I like to do my eyes first. Typically because I like to use a lot of color and I don't want fallout on my face makeup. But honestly, it's because I've always done my makeup like that. I've always done my brows first. Next, we're gonna move on to concealer. So I use two different concealers, as you guys know. Right now, I've been trying out the Makeup Revolution concealer. So I'm gonna put some of that. And then I'm gonna add a tiny bit of the Wet n Wild in the inner portion, tip of my nose. Then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend that out. Then I'm going to take the side that we used for the foundation and make sure that it's blended into our foundation. We don't want to look too white. I don't like a really bright under eye. Okay, so I'm gonna set all the areas where I put concealer. So I'm gonna take the Coty Airspun powder, and I'm just gonna pour a little bit in here. Now you can use a dry beauty blender. Some people like a wet beauty blender. I'm gonna go in with a e.l.f. highlighting brush. First, I'm gonna make sure and take the beauty blender, make sure that there's no creasing underneath. Now I'm gonna take that brush, pick up some powder, and set my under eyes. So honestly, this isn't the best powder. I've been trying to find like another powder that works better for me. This one I haven't been liking as much, but I haven't been able to find one. I did recently get the Fit Me Maybelline one, but I tried it one day and I didn't really like it. Make sure I get the crevices of my nose. Okay, so now that our concealer is all set, we're gonna need to set the rest of our face. So what I used to set the rest of my face, is the e.l.f. finishing powder. This is in the shade Fair Light. Looks like this. I use it a lot. And then I take, this is a crown brush, but I just take a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna dip in there. And I'm just gonna push that into my skin with the brush. Brush out any excess powder that we have underneath our eyes. See, this powder is not doing much for me. Like, you could still see my under eye bags. I feel like it takes some of the coverage off, but of my concealer, but whatever. Still on the hunt for a good powder. Next, I'm going to bronze up my skin. So I'm going to be going in with the ColourPop pressed bronzer. This is in the shade Afternoon Delight. They have a lot of different colors. So I'm going to take a little fluffy brush like this. Is a Profusion brush. Dip in there. Tap off the excess. And I'm going to go ahead and swirl it around. Make sure I blend it. And you don't want too much product. But even if you do a little too much, you can diffuse it with face powder. I'm going to do the same to the other side. I love this brush, it's so soft. Now I'm going to do a little to the underneath of my neck. And then I'm going to do my forehead. Even though my bangs are down today, I don't need it as much. Tiny to the sides of my nose. Now I'm going to take that face powder brush from before and just next I'm going to take blush. So normally I would take a Wet n Wild brush, but I don't want to blush, but I don't want to get up and get it. So I'm just going to take this ColourPop blush This is in the shade Why Hello There. And I'm going to take a little fluffy brush like this for my blush. And I'm just going to tap in there a couple times, tap off the excess. And when we do blush, I know where the apples of my cheeks are, but if you don't know where the apples of your cheeks are, all you have to do is just smile. Like, you could just smile like that, smile normal, and you'll find the apples of your cheeks, and just go upwards. I'm not gonna put too much of blush because this is very pinky and we're doing like fall look today. Now, if you feel like you put too much blush, you could just diffuse that with some face powder as well. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm gonna take, this is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in Lunch Money. This is like my favorite right now. You can use it with your finger. That's what it looks like. This is it swatched. It's so beautiful. So you can use this with your finger. They have a brush too that you can use it with. I'm just gonna put my I'm just gonna grab my highlighting brush and just add a little bit of this on the cheek, on the high points. See, it's so pretty. Now this is if you want like more of a subtle look, you can do that. Like I said, you could use your finger, or you can go in with the brush. It's so pretty. Now I'm not really into subtle, so I wanted to just use that for like to show you guys. It's really pretty. But I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a ColourPop highlighter on top of that. This is in the shade Here Kitty Kitty. I'll swatch it for you as well. See it? It's more out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that highlighting brush and I'm gonna swirl it around, tap off a little bit of excess, and go over top of Lunch Money. See, that was a little too much, but it's okay. I like a lot of highlight. We're just gonna do circles. I do circles. Get the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow. Sometimes I get down the bridge of my nose, and sometimes if I'm really in the mood for highlight, I do a light little bit on the high points of my forehead and underneath my chin. Let's see, I added a little too much. I'm gonna just take my beauty blender, the side with nothing on it, and just blend it a little bit. I almost forgot, when I do highlight, I always use a little pencil brush, and I'll take the same highlight that I used and I'll put some on my brow bones. I'm going to be taking this Contour Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Stud. Then I'm going to be taking Dose of Colors in the shade Knock on Wood. Okay, then I just usually set my face, so I don't have a good setting spray right now, so I've just been using my Smashbox primer water. So I'm going to spray my whole face. And then pat that in with my beauty blender. And that is the finished look. Okay guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is basically how I do my face. I hope that this was very helpful. Of course you can always use different products, you don't have to use the same ones I used. I'm still trying to find what my perfect products are for my complexion, so it could be hard for you to find yours. All of these products that I used in today's video, there are other kinds of it. Like ColourPop has multiple shades of bronzers, multiple shades of blushes, and multiple shades of highlighters, but you can always go with a more affordable brand. Like you can always do more drugstore. I mean, ColourPop is super affordable, but I mean, you can go with other drugstore items. It doesn't have to be ColourPop. Maybelline has highlighters. Wet n Wild has highlighters. So there's a big variety of things that you can use. This was just what I wanted to use today, and I just wanted to show you how I apply all my complexion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my previous videos down below, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right over there, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!